Yes, and welcome back. And trust me, you don't even know what happened during the break.
I'm telling you.
We've had relate what happened.
We've had a Igbo coronation for Rotimi. And
a 50 cent, anti-50 cent protection.
Odeshi. We have anti-50 cent Odeshi ordained on Rotimi, so nothing do him.
Awesome.
Not 50 cents, not 50
Well, this is your segment now.
Yes, no problem.
Let's go through the normal. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are working on a documentary right now.
Yes, I am.
And
I'm going back to my roots.
Trying to tell the story of Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, okay, the backstory.
Give us a quick heads up.
Basically, I've been pre-producing, as you well know, I've been pre-producing this documentary for about 20 years.
Okay.
And it's not like I intended to make a documentary. I just wanted to be chronicling my journey through music since I started with Wasiu Ayinde in 1999. Okay. 1999. So, and it's 20 years now, 2019. So everything, and you know our ever dependable Timmy, if I'm not filming, Timmy is filming. Okay. You understand? So we've been chronicling everything, and then of course we got the TV gig with Ben TV. Indeed. It flowed into everything, and then OBE, and then the specials that we go to do in LA, or we go to New York, or we go to Lagos, or we go to Philadelphia. So basically we've just been filming. So when I moved 3 years ago, I moved from the famous Crofton Road. Yeah. That's another story. And
so I was famous Magodo.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was just carrying all these big boxes of tapes, and I'm like, okay, we've been chronicling all this the journey so far. When are we going to put it out? So I've been talking about this documentary now for about 4 years. But now that it's 20 years, a nice round number, and now that Afrobeats, well, the music genre that have become Afrobeats.
On the cusp of, is it on the cusp of
actually? Of explosion. Look at what you're talking about with Rotimi now.
Exactly.
Now, Rotimi, who is an African American, like proper, he is now doing something. Well, his songs are on the R&B chart, but we know that that's Afrobeats.
Indeed.
I told him yesterday, I said, look, if they take your voice out, just play the beats. That's an Afrobeat. That's an Afrobeat beat.
Exactly.
So basically, I mean, me and you are sitting here talking about the word Afrobeat. You know, we used to hate it. Well, I used to hate it.
I just felt really it served the purpose because we needed categorization.
And we need a name. Yes. Every genre needs a name. It's the same thing with Nollywood.
When did you change? Don't lie, you remember?
I changed when my daughter, Fela is going to be 22 now.
Yes.
And then Fela became a Burna Boy disciple when she was like 16. So she was the first person to tell me about Burna Boy. Not that Burna Boy is the definition of Afrobeat, but it's the closest to what Afrobeat without exactly. So over time, he will now say, well, Dad, you know, have you listened to that new Burna Boy song? I'm even listening to other songs as well. I'm listening to Wizkid. I'm listening, you know, this is Fela at 16, 17.
Fela, your daughter?
My daughter, yes. Yeah, exactly. She was actually named after Fela Anukulako because she was born in August 1997, which was the month Fela died. When Fela slept. Fela is not dead. So, she started using the words Afrobeats. And of course, you know, in the industry, there's beats. Why are we calling this thing Afrobeats? Because it's so close to Afrobeat, and everything just modeled up. And I found myself explaining the genre as Afrobeat. Remember when we went to Atlanta in 2005 and we did the intro Afro hip hop concert
jam in Atlanta.
Atlanta. We've done a lot of firsts. We've done a lot of firsts. We wanted to take our genre to America. To do a show in Atlanta. We had LD, we had JJC and 419, and then we had like the guys from
the guys on ground.
What's this from Tupac? Was the
Outlaws.
Those guys? Outlaws, yeah. So basically, we came up with the name Afro Hip Hop, which is a mouthful.
Indeed.
And I remember specifically, somebody was interviewing LD backstage after the concert, and they were asking him, "What is this genre called?" And LD said Afro Hip Hop. And he said, Afro Hip Hop? And the lady said, why can't you have an original name that doesn't have hip hop? Because hip hop is American.
Exactly.
And he said, well, that's what they call it now. Maybe some people call it Afro Pop. Some people call it.
I kind of lean more towards Afro Pop.
So the woman said.
Or Niger Pop.
And the lady said, so you really don't have a name yet. And LD said, well.
That was a nail on the coffin.
Yeah. So when we now started hearing this Afrobeats, and I'm not saying I accepted it because everybody's accepted
But it is what it is.
But I'm like, okay, they've called it Afrobeats enough times for it now to
has become it.
Yeah. I don't want to become. I had a story about a guy who, no, it wasn't a guy. Is Spike Lee's dad.
Okay.
Spike Lee, the filmmaker.
Yes.
He said his dad never ever forgave whoever invented the electric bass. Yes. Because his father was a bassist.
Yes.
You know, the acoustic bass. Like his father was so good at it. He was one of the, like, that's why Spike Lee uses a lot of jazz in his films. Yes. Like his father was so good. And then somebody now introduced, you know, the bass. You know, like, why would bass be electric? And why would it now be like a guitar?
Yeah.
You understand? Like his father kicked against it, and his father never accepted. He never accepted to play the electric bass. He never even accepted it as a viable instrument.
Pretty much killed his career.
Exactly. And he said his father just got stuck in the old days. Even though some real jazz connoisseurs still play it, but it's rare now. And it gives us a sound.
It's a different sound.
So I don't want to be that guy who refused
to accept the name,
to move with the time. And accept that
Jimmy
there's a new form. No, part of the documentary is a 6-part documentary series because you can't tell the story in 90 minutes or 100 minutes. So the first 2 episodes will deal with the history. The next 2, which is the middle 2, will deal with the present, and then the last 2 will the 5th episode will deal with what we expect now in the future in terms of all this streaming, monetization and everything. And then the last
business,
it's a business that everybody's making money now. And the last episode will be kind of like a recap of everything, and then what we look, you know, it will include a lot of people that are doing collaborations. I mean, I just saw on my phone now that what's his name? Davido and Ludacris are in the studio.
Cutting something.
And I'll tell you about Ludacris because I used to roll with Ludacris back in the days. We went to Tanzania together. Yes. We went, you know, and I've been in the studio with him, and he talks a lot about Afrobeat. His manager, Chaka Zulu, he's very African. I mean, for himself, somebody to change his name to Chaka Zulu, and you know, he has always talked about doing collabos, and he felt like there's some kind of music in Africa coming out, and they are trying to embrace it. We've all seen the videos of what's this other producer, Timbaland, rocking to Tennis Designer, produced by SARS.
And recently, Harmony, who's Nigerian.
Exactly.
And who's doing great things. Produce Love Rhythm.
So I think this is the right time to tell the story. It is our story. And I don't want someone else, I'm going to be very, very frank with you. I don't want a foreigner to tell this story.
You don't want a Mongo Park.
Yes, or a Christopher Columbus, or people that will go somewhere and say, we discovered this. Yeah. You know, I don't want that. So we have to tell the story. And I believe that I'm one of the few people, you included, and some people that can tell the story from the beginning.
From the era, all the way up
until now. Some people will come and pick it up from Wizkid, some people will pick it up from maybe, you know, some people will pick it up now. Some people are picking up Afrobeats now.
Indeed,
and saying that they are the
pioneers.
We will pick it up from Waiting Day.
Yes.
Like from my first episode is titled Waiting Day. Waiting, yeah, that's the backbone. You can hear it in Rotimi's album.
Yeah.
You can hear it in My Daughter's Boyfriend. Oh, I hope I'm saying this now.
Now we know.
My Daughter's Boyfriend. I don't want to say his name now because
you call him Mr. X.
Well, if they get married, they don't get married. But My Daughter's Boyfriend, he's doing a dissertation for his degree. And I think it's his master's, and he wants to do something on Afrobeats. So my daughter said, come and speak to my dad and everything. I sat him down. We haven't even started the dissertation. I just said, okay, I like your where you're going, and let me sit you down. Let's just go through the basics. It's Nigerian. Okay. It's Nigerian. They go to church together, which is good. Come on, fella, So I sat him down. He was with his sister. And I started playing. Anytime I say something, I'll go on YouTube. I played Waiting Day for him.
I show him.
And it's like,
you were doing his job for him.
Yeah. And he's a producer as well.
Exactly.
He produces for my son.
Okay.
My son is getting into Afrobeats now. So he was like, oh yeah, that's the backbone. What did he call it? The template.
Yes,
he said, that's the template. I said, that's Waiting Day. So I played Waiting Day for him. He's like, wow. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me play you. You can hear me now. And I played the instrumental, and he can hear the same thing. I'm like, that's Afrobeats. I'm like, let's now check when they released the song.
Songs, yeah.
And the song, that song with Puff Daddy
Yes.
and Nas
Yeah.
was released the next year after Waiting Day came out. I said they must have heard Waiting Day, thinking that, Nas is very Afro.
Oh, yes.
You understand?
And he listens.
And then the sister now said, we should play Here I Am.
Kelly Price.
Kelly Price. I'm like, you see now? He was like, Dad. He calls me Dad. He hasn't married my daughter yet. He said, Dad.
He said, go.
Like what we just did now, you have given me my whole dissertation. That I'm now going to come and sit with you. And I said, that's what we're doing. I said, you, that you are coming into this thing now, we have been there. And we have seen it from the beginning. I can tell you who produced Waiting Day. I said, do you know who Paul Ike Dairo is? He said he didn't know who Paul. I said, sit down again. Let me teach you. We played everything. We played Fefe Nefe.
Yes, yes.
Because he was working to Fefe Nefe, the one that they just did the DJ tunes.
Bese, yeah.
Exactly. And I played the original. He was like, I didn't know. So I didn't know. And look at this boy. He's a producer of Afrobeats. He doesn't know Fefe Nefe. He doesn't know Waiting Day. He doesn't know all this.
There's a generational angle to this as well.
Yes.
And which leads me to, now, you've seen the great documentary.
Which one? The one with Fela?
No.
On Netflix.
Defiant Ones.
Defiant Ones, yes.
Which is also a 6-part documentary.
Yes.
And even at the end of a very well-made documentary, you would always get some little pockets come and say, no, this story didn't sound this way.
No, I am expecting that kind of resistance. So fact checking.
However, though, ultimately, it's your story.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody can still come and tell.
I'll tell you, it is our story.
Well, I mean, in terms of production, obviously.
I know, but the thing is, it's our story.
Because we lived it.
Yeah, our story, but I'm the one telling the story.
Yeah.
So if I'm telling the story and I'm mentioning your names, and of course, back to all the footage that I have, I'm showing all the footage. I'm re-interviewing the people that we've interviewed before, back in the days of intro, back in the days of Black Variety Show, back in the days of specials, back in the days of, I'm re-interviewing everybody. Well, hopefully.
We're much older now.
Yeah, we're much older now. So, like, we saw Rugged Man yesterday. Rugged Man's was the first Nigerian, well, not first Nigerian, but first this song.
Yes.
And it caused a lot, it created
it was new, it was fresh.
Episode 4, we deal with beefs. We deal with Idris and Rugged Man. We deal with, up until the presumed beef between Wizkid and Davido and all these people that have had beefs before. So it's a complete story. I'm not just making a documentary just because I want to.
And I'd like to use this opportunity before I forget right now to wish the family of DJ Abass of Classic FM in Nigeria.
Because
I started getting a lot of calls
when
we were with Rotimi, and I started getting a lot of
internet
calls.
was off.
Apparently, he passed on yesterday in Nigeria, and
somebody put it on a group chat,
and
they thought it was you.
I just started getting calls, and I just like to use this opportunity to wish his family our greatest condolences, and a shout out to all those who showed concern by reaching out to me as well.
Yes.
And
as I was coming now, D1 called me. D1 was like, Rockon called me from Atlanta.
Yeah.
D1 called me and said, if I call you, in fact, when Rockon was like, Kilo Shele, I didn't even think about it. I said, she mistake and he said, no, DJ Abass. I'm like, oh, we've been dealing with all this. And then D1, normally he would send a WhatsApp, but he called. Which I thought was a nice gesture, and some people have, so condolence to the family of DJ Abass of Classic FM.
Nigeria.
But our DJ Abass here is hale and healthy. Healthy.
That's our poster.
Yes. And you see that, yeah. And you see the whole Agbatinde, we're just 50, you're 51, I'm right behind you. And really, when do we tell this story? It's not when we are 70.
Exactly, yeah. It has to be now.
We tell it now. And if there's another story when we are 70, 75, we will tell it again.
Exactly.
But for this one, we're telling it from when the mixture of, Afrobeats has everything.
Indeed.
Afrobeats is world beats.
Yes.
Afrobeats, the African beats is Sunny Ade.
Sunny Ade, of course. Yeah,
Afrobeats is Fela. But the Afrobeats with the S is world beats. It has
eclectic.
It has Fuji. Starting from Raise the Roof, big up to OJB. We have the interview. Yeah, it's got hip hop. It's got rap. Man. Yeah, it's got rap. It's got indigenous. It's nice. It's got language. It's got what's that Iskaba? What is that sound? Is that Latino or merengue?
Merengue, Latino.
Yeah, it's got everything.
All the elements.
But Afrobeats, as close to Afrobeat without the S, is Burna Boy. And it's happening right now. I believe that Burna Boy is being accepted more, dare I say, even more than Wizkid and Davido. But Burna Boy is being accepted just like...
A bit too early?
No, you know why? Because he is the closest to...
Afrobeat. I heard Run My Race. From Run My Race.
Yes.
From Run My Race, I picked him out, and then subsequently, he's the sound, as an Afrobeat without the S, the sound.
I think
he's the closest to it.
I think Run My Race, yes. But if you go a bit back, you
not
will,
too far back.
When you now go, Kigbe Soke, Demon Faster, and then the horn section.
He has all the elements. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is the guy. This is the guy that will make us have that conversation about is Afrobeats. And I'm saying it now. If anybody,
and he's not a fan of the Afrobeats with an S, obviously.
No. Burna Boy is complex. I've only encountered him a couple of times. You know, we did that Narcos Lagos and everything, and he's a richly endowed creative
with all the elements.
Yeah, exactly.
All the edges.
If you see him and vibe with him, you will know that he's, of course, you know, his grandfather was Fela's manager, his mom was Fela's dancer, and everything. You see that Fela in him. Even though he did not mess with Fela, he did not hook up. I grew up with Fela from my year of 6 to 10, 11. I used to go to the shrine, the original shrine in Kalakuta, every day after school. I used to walk from Adelabu. One of my aunties, she's my cousin, but she's an elder cousin, used to date Fela. She was one of the original 27 wives. Okay. So she used to take me, and we used to go. You heard that for the record. So for the record, And I used to go and the way Fela used to address people, the way he has his own one-track mind, and I think it's the same way Burna Boy. Now, I will tell you this now. Fela used to be wrong on so many things. Yes. He was right on a lot of things, but he used to be wrong on so many things as well. Fela, you could say was, if Fela was alive now and he says the things that he used to say, you would think Fela was a racist. You understand? But he's not a racist. He just knows that, look, we are black, we are African, you are white. Although he has white friends, people like Paul McCartney, all these people, what is his drummer, Ginger Baker, they used to come. So he used to invite white people into his house, but he would let them know that we are different. We are different. You are from the people that colonized us. Me and you are cool. We smoke weed together, but your people are the people that. So Burna Boy has that thing as well. Burna Boy has. If you sit and vibe with him, you will see that he has that thing. He's not racist, but he's very conscious of. There's white, there's black, there's African, there's, and I think he's the closest to Fela. In fact, if Fela Kuti sees this interview, he will not do my interview for my documentary. He will return your Ankara to you. Fela Kuti said, Bros, I don't want to do this interview. He said, I'm tired. He said, I'm tired of it. And people always, look, he said, anybody will do some good songs now. Granted, good songs. Yeah, indeed. The media will now start touting them as the new Fela. It's like, what is Fela? Fela is Fela. You come out with your own.
Everybody belongs to Fela.
He said, me, I'm Fela's blood son. I'm not saying I'm new Fela. Everybody's now. So I'm hoping Shane will do my documentary. He said he's not going to do it, but I said, we're going to keep talking because me and him, we chat a lot. We are kind of like kindred spirits.
Do you have a timeline for when this will be ready?
Yes, I am hoping and praying. We're on schedule. Okay. We started filming now. And of course, we've already,
interviews,
we've done all our footages, and we're still doing more research and getting some things. And then we're going to do the Lagos, South Africa, and Ghana round of interviews in July. And then I'm back in London to finish some more interviews in August, leading up to Carnival. And then after Carnival, I'm going to the States to do the States, and I'm going to South Africa. I'm doing everywhere. Okay. But we start editing. Maybe November, and touch wood, we have some plans that we want to premiere on the 6th of December this year. Awesome. It's a Friday. We already sort of like
in advance.
Have you? Yeah. So, but in December,
once again, publicly, my condolences on the passing of our mom. I'm looking forward to.
I just, I've not. It hasn't
sunk
in yet that my mom has passed. I just think she's sleeping. And I guess she's still sleeping. She's in the mortuary, but we're putting her in the ground 2 weeks from now. And I think maybe after then will I accept. But my mom is still on this earth.
We'll be there to support you.
Looking
forward to it.
All right.
And it's been another one for the record.
Yes.
And ending on a very, very
solemn
and somber mode.
Yes.
And I'd like to say a big shout out to the entire member of the team, from the director, Mr. Sam. I always forget his surname every now and then.
Mr. Sam, no,
that's the one.
Sam the man.
Sam the man. And to Yemi Williams, to Chidimma, our director of sound.
Yes.
Shout out, and of course to 4 Lines, Ila Merit, awesome. And that's the same team. And also behind the scene, we also have Kelechi. Kelechi's in the building. No, we don't feel you go dabere for we can just let can't greet us now. But it's been a wonderful show, and I'll see you same time next week. Stay tuned.